working on yesterday. Let's see here. I need to fix my thing. Hi! Whoops. I was making sure it was still alive. Let me see here. You can do it anytime. Yeah, new model! We'll see how it performs. Oh my gosh, the frogs have already started. Hang on, let me get Twitch chat up on my phone real quick. So I can see you guys a little bit better. Stream manager. I just want to see stream. There we go. Alright, let's see here. So, we have how many frogs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 frogs. Alright. I appreciate you, hun. Oh, heck yeah! Oh, I forgot about the cactpot yesterday. Oh, no. Yeah, let me get the frogs. Downloads. Where's my frog file? There it is. Alrighty. Let me get the frogs out of the way. And then we can do some, FF14 shenanigans. Rogue. I keep clicking out of VTube Studio, as usual. Yeah, no, I love the frogs. They're too good. I should probably make them, like, make a couple bigger, and then we can stack them. Yeah, that'll work. We'll make a couple big frogs, and then we can, stack them in front of each other. Yeah, nesting, Russian nesting dolls, but frogs. Like that? Yes. We'll do it like that. There we go. So we got 3, 4. Can I grab it? Thank you. Yeah, the stabby one. I love the one that has the knife. 5. 6. Sadly, this one doesn't have, this model doesn't have a whole lot to, stack it on. So we'll probably end up, just attaching them in random parts. To be fair, I need to probably make my model a little bit lower, so... We can fit all the frogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 7? Yeah, that's 7. Eight. You know, I did that post earlier on Twitter. One of my favorite animals is cuttlefish. You can't tell because of the frogs. 9. Or is this 10? We'll see. We'll do a count. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is 9. One more. And then we'll have all the frogs. Another green one. They do. It's because it's a whole PNG picture. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna pull this down a little bit because I do have redeem toggles, so if those go off, it might be too big for how I have this set up. So there we go. Yeah, that works. Frog! Froggy. Yeah, it's just nothing but frog. It's great. It's all frog. You know, this was born from a meme that we were doing in IRIAM, too. Because there's a frog redeem. Or frog emote that you can send. And it's great. There we go. And transition over. There we are. I was doing stuff at the house. Let me turn this down just a tad. It's on 60. Holy heck. Alright. So we were doing stuff at the house. I wanted to check in on the thing. Alrighty. So we are going to go do MSQ. I have not sat through the beginning part. Can't read. Not for long. I'm about to switch over to my actual wool fit. But yeah, no, I love my little outfit for my aura. Let's see. We are going to go over to our normal fit. There we go. Yes, small dragon lady. Let's see here. Where are we supposed to go? It's like over here, isn't it? Like down there? Pretty sure? Maybe? Where's the MSQ one? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, no, it's right here. So it is like down there. Ooh, White Mage. Yeah, so I gave White Mage a try on my alt before I actually brought my my main over. I feel like it'd be a lot more fun if you had a proper party. Just in my opinion. But I do like it. Don't get me wrong, I do like it. Oh, this poor lady. This poor dancer. Alrighty. Who's ready for movie time? Movie time, boys. Possibly. Give me dish card. Yippee! Movie time! We get to sippy our protein drink and watch MSQ.
The dawn's light will shine again.
Hopefully sounds pretty good.
Have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You must go to Ishgard.
Is that healer's a lot more fun.
I will return to Uldar and set things right.
Pray, do not be so hasty,
Indeed,
Master
indeed.
Lord Orchiffon.
Honestly, I like this voice actor for Alphonse.
Full well do I understand your desire to clear your names. But now is not the time for drastic action. You yet have allies upon whom you can rely.
Is it bad that I like this guy? I like how he speaks.
Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience.
I bring tidings. Count Edmont has decreed that the three of you be taken in as wards of House Fortin. Under our patronage, you shall be granted access to the city proper.
Let me make sure that that's muted.
Pray, consider our
So I have it open on here. There we go.
plan how best to
There we go.
proceed. Needless to
Sound
say,
back.
should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there.
You are more than generous, my friend. On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your offer of hospitality.
I'm still gonna go rip that little Lalafell to
The Count
pieces.
is a good man and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves.
To Ishgard, then. Together.
Down with the potatoes. Yeah, no, that little creature is going to get my wrath. Bean. Spare none of them. Yeah, no, they will not be spared. This is probably going to be Dark Knight Narumi arc. Let me out. Total potato death! Ooh, is that a, Rothgal? No, that was the giant folk. Really pretty. Love that outfit. They look nice. At first I thought it was the Rothgal. So where are we going now? Oh, Gates of Judgment. Alright. We'll take the Chocobo. It would probably be more thematic to use the Griffin, but Flying Chicken is funny. Oh, that's cool! Hey, Overcast! Did you run into that? I'm actually curious, because, I know that you played, Dragoon for a while. House? Wards of House for Temps? Yes. You may pass. Here we go! I might have? Yeah, I know that you played, Dragoon for a while.
And so they came, at a friend's behest.
It heckin' Wimdy!
Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery.
Again, the Heavensward song sounds like Dragon Age.
With
Dragon
memories
Age,
of those
Dark Arisen's
dreams of
theme.
redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came.
It's great, but it sounds just like it. I don't know if it's because maybe they like came out. Real recognizes real based. I should do a Dragon's Dogma playthrough again sometime. The first game. I know the second game's a
Shining
nightmare.
city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Kurthus. A great and proud nation, devoted to Helone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church.
Oh no, they're Catholic!
The last bastion of the faith, a walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears
I say
of her
jokingly.
4 high houses.
Same! Dragon's Dogma is so good.
A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace.
Keep an eye on the priests! Where did they get apples? We're in the middle of a blizzard. Where did you get apple? I mean, I know you have a whole
Gates
kingdom,
long
but...
closed, the warrior of light and her companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragonsong War they came.
This is already an upgrade from ARR.
Whose arrival would set in motion great change.
Already an upgrade.
Though none knew then how great.
Heck yeah! I'm doing decent. How are you, Ventus? Let's go! Heavensward start! We got the title card, boys! Greetings, Mistress Kagone. Hi! Hi, Overcast! On behalf of House for Temps, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. Ooh! Yes, the 9th I'm probably gonna re-download it. I might play it on my PlayStation, I might not. I want to do one last run of, a few of the dungeons. But if you want to play through it, up until Final Shape, because I don't have, Echo, the new expansions, you have a warlock. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you all would come with me. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm an awoken warlock. Surprise, surprise. Oh, let me go grab the thing. Yeah, D2 year of death prophecy. I have to be able to. I might get it on. Might play it on PlayStation for old time's sake. Just do a overlay and play it on the PlayStation. No VTuber model, just us yapping about the good old days. I was Titan and then played Warlock. Where are we going? Am I an idiot? Oh no, I'm wandering. I'm gonna wander around a little bit before I go in. I know we're supposed to go and meet people, but I wasn't the best in PvP. To be fair, that wasn't what I was there for. I was there for the PvE. Rest in pieces, D2. Yo, Soul Lock based. I am anywhere between Arc and Solar, so I'm right there with you. Last time I played, I was goofing around with, where is the guy for Dirk? I wanna see. Unless I'm already in here. Well, I'm not quite that level yet. I'm level 57. I'm not 60 yet. Oh, Wrath of the Machine? Yes. Arc of the Humble. Oh, that's so cool! So I have a little headcanon with it, with my, Tenno, actually, being the same person as my, Warlock. Because, you know, alternate timelines, alternate Earths, kind of thing. '60s Stormblood. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that some of them, some of the Stormblood ones I can't get. Not quite yet, anyways. Like Dancer. I want to try Dancer. Am I going the right way? Where am I? Is it above me? Wait. Oh no, it's another Limsa. Momo lost again. Oh, wait. Maybe go to the big arrow. Maybe? No? Where? Yeah, no, that's just a me thing. I am awful at direction. I guess I can go up here? I love the architecture. Like, the Gothic architecture is so good. Hang on. It's zooming out. Or zooming in. Yeah, no, the Gothic architecture, this is one of- that's why, Mordana is one of my favorite areas, because I like the architecture there, too. Because it feels like a big, like, fort. But this is beautiful. Gorgeous. Alright, we got an aetheryte over here, so I won't have to, I can teleport around. Cause I have a feeling I'm gonna be coming up here a lot. Oh, Elfman. The warrior of light and her brave companions, walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. I cannot tell you how long I have waited for this day. Allow me to present to you my family home, Vortem's Manor. I should like nothing more but than to show you around, but so everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made. Cutscene time! Yep.
My lord, I have returned with the scions.
Take my sippies.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
I was about to say he reminds me of
As wards of House Forton,
Dracula.
you will be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
Low-key kinda hot, but that's beside the point.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
The honor is mine.
You will find out I have a very strange taste in
Consider it
men.
an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Shh,
Do not worry
Alphonse, it's
yourself on
fine.
that. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses.
Oh no, you can ask Overcast. My tastes get really weird.
Will feel moved to voice their concern.
I play D&D.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced.
I've earned that title well.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city? You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
Yippee! I'm gonna miss the fanfare. Oh, heck yeah! But he gets to level up the femboy fashion. What is this? Oh, cool! Sick helmet. Circulative striking. Why does it say I can wear that? There's no way I can wear that. It's really cool looking though. Human shish kebab. Oh, the human shish kebab is great. Oh, I can't choose it yet. Right, got it. We're probably gonna go with Defender. Though our friends in House for Temps has been generous enough to extend us their protection, we must... Oh! I have... Yes, please, disable that. It is proper that we learn about our new home, so we might become more self-sufficient. It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. If there's the markets and taverns, we'll know where to shop and where to hear small talk. 'Twould seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I must, of course, do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any questions you might have. Ah, and I grow forgetful of my dotage. In my dotage, there is something I must give you ere we part. Their documentation is in order, I trust? Yes, my lord. Narumi freaking breaking her neck to look up at this guy. Elf Green card. Yeah, no, that is. Those documents identify you as wards of House Hortense. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of our countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House for Temps. But let us know it shall not come to that. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation that might compel us to invoke your name. I feel like that is, I feel like that is a foreshadowing. Because wherever we go, chaos follows. Narumi? Totoro? The city awaits. Let's go. She's so cute. I love Totoro. She's adorable. I like the Lalas. I was very close to being a Lala for Narumi because funny, small tank. But, I'm glad I love Vara. I am as small. Take the Phantom Pill, become small. As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Hopalon? From whence we may gaze upon the splendor of the holy vault. Though all other sights pale in comparison, 'tis only that you meet it first. I shall then show you around the jeweled cozier, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services before descending to Foundation's Aetherite Plaza. If there are no questions, off we go, I guess. Yeah, where are you, Overcast? I'm over here by this Aetherite. doing Dirk's story. Understood. Where am I supposed to go, actually? Am I accidentally going the right way? I am going the right way. I'm going up here. It's really pretty here. The Hoplon. So named for the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. I can't speech today. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Again, the Catholic Church. That is just the Pope. a scarier Pope. Begging your pardon. The statues to the south, are they perchance Thoradin's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Alfond. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thoradin the First to put down Nihag and found his great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there's much you can learn by exploring the pillars. Time permitting, of course. Yes, you do. Now then, if you would follow me to the jeweled cozier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elise, our master of the markets. It's still really funny. I was doing some leveling for, Arcadist. Hello. Let me scroll in a little bit. Hello, creature. Oh, heck yeah! I would totally be down to do some D2 raids. Hehe. Bean. Oh, that's so cute! I love the little laugh! Stream is so delayed. Yeah, it's pretty delayed, normally. She is, baby. Love her. Same, Ventus! Same, I am also rocking the magical girl outfit. Yeah, adorable. We love Aruchi in this house. Oh, is that the Dirk fit? I still love how Dark Knight is, your sword is as big as mine. Oh, heck yeah. Anywho, have fun with Dark Knight. Yeah, I just kind of went in going with, like, a random character for my, Warlock. Oh, I already got this one. Okay. Is it down here? No. It's, like, over here. Yep. Yeah! I'm doing MSQ, so it might be a little boring. Oh, it is down there. Here we go, me being, map troubled. So it is down here. But yeah, no, it'll be weird playing D2 again. I want to run a couple dungeons for sure, though. I might do it on stream. I might, do it as, like, a little video, send-off video. We'll see. I might do it on stream, though. Yeah, exactly. It is like playing the legacy of a game. I mean, it is. Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all... Ah, wards of House Fortemps. How very interesting. Kel Elmont granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. Accordingly, we will have need of sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance. That is, of course, assuming you are content to accept the custom of foreigners. Should you be uncomfortable, young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armor, accoutrements, medicine materials, whatever you desire, it can be found at the Cozy Air. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall soon see. Our next destination is the Aetherite Plaza in the Formation. If everyone is ready. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see how everything's been, you know? Because I haven't played D2 for about a little over a year. I haven't booted up D2. So it might be interesting. I'm gonna go down here and see what's down here. This might lead us outside. Oh no, we went straight to where we need to go. Cool beans. I've already got this one, right? Yes. So I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there was one over in the Cozier. Hang on. We're going back. I want to collect these as we're going around. Let me check my thing. Okay. See, seems like we're doing pretty good. Okay. So we want to find the aetheryte here. Oh, it's over here. Okay, it's just down the street. Cool beans. I like how they kind of have all of the aetherytes out in the open. Yeah, no, I walked right past this. Is there only one market board? But yeah, no, I love this. I like this, so far. Alrighty, back we go. This way. You know, Narumi comes from Uda, so it's like freezing to her right now. I could only imagine how she's feeling right now. It is probably cold as heck. And here we have Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza. If you have yet to attune to the Aetheryte, it would be wise to do so now. Alrighty, time for a new helmet. Oh, I have to see. This looks like it'd be a jester hat. It is a jester hat. Oh, that's so cursed. Neat piece of ice. As for our next destination, hang on. Let me open this. Mayhap we should decide together. What else can be found nearby? The Sky Steel Manufactory stands to the west. There, our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for us to use against the dragons. The Holy Stables, where chocobos are trained for war, also lie in that direction. To the north and east can be found the Congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly, while to the south and east, well, 'twould be best if you avoided that area. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphond. Hold your nose when you pass the Brume, little lord. A delicate flower like you is like wit to our fumes. Who are you? You misjudged me, sir. For I am no lord, but a humble traveler. You certainly don't act like it, Alphond. unsavory character. He looks sketchy. Look at his hair and everything. He looks like the classic dude in an anime that's, you know, doing the you say I say it how my brain does it. I'm pretty sure his name's very different, but oh, come on. Oh, come to see the sights, have we? Take a turn down the hop lawn and gawp at the statues. Well, you've a mind to learn how the better half live. Come and have a drink at the Forgotten Night. If your nursemaid let ya. That's funny. My humblest apologies, Master Alphond. Pray pay the drunken lout no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such an heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this Forgotten Night for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Narumi. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, who can say that we might learn of recent events? That I'm coming to. Brother, we're going to the most seediest bar in this place. I am worried about our safety. More like I'm worried about Totaro's, safety. Overcast. I see you up there on the thing. Okay. 1 million beers. Brother, 1 million beers would probably be your Lala's weight in alcohol. Let me get eye level with you. I'm actually eye level with you. I was mostly doing that as a joke. But I'm pretty sure I'm almost eye level with you if I was slightly taller. She can take 1 million beers. I believe in her. Oh my gosh. Possibly. Oh, it's too good. Alright, let's go to the bar, boys. This is the worst idea possible, but, you know, let's go to the bar. Oh dear lord. Into the underbelly. The seedy underbelly of the city. I feel like I'm going the right way? We'll see. Nope, I am not going the right way. Ooh! Aetheryte. And we are in the slums. Officially. I like how stark the difference between the two is. down here? You know, this is probably the worst place to, be homeless at. Where the heck? Because it's cold. Oh, did I? I could have swore I, attuned to it. Oh, I didn't. There we go. Where are you? There you are. There's the creature. I still love that Eruchia looks like she just took one of, Narumi's swords. It's too funny. Thank you, ma'am. That was the most country thing I could say. You know, giving Narumi a country accent would be cursed. The perfect amount of cursed. Must say, this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived to Ishgard, and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her most notable establishments. Master? Gillibrant? Gillibrant? Is that how you say that? I'm just going to call him Gilbry. And I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations, but if it's decent food and drink you're after, you could do much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but to note a difference between those who frequent upper and lower floors. Spotted that, did you? Aye. Up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth, dropping in on their way to or from somewhere else. Regulars maybe, but not locals. Folks from the Brom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality. Mind, but not the sort of stuff that I'd recommend to yourselves. We speak of the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the Brun, if I may ask? Because when the weather's foul and the Brum rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living in the bottom that have to deal with it. I see. It's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the Brum that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More than a few still sore about it, mind. Which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below. And something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I'll take your words to heart, sir. Master Alphond, I think it would be best if we return to Fortemp's manor. You go ahead without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Homegirl's gonna come home sloshed. Estataro. I'm afraid that is out of the question. My lord, the Count, would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place. Least of all, a maiden. I think she can handle herself. Let's be fair. What are you up to, Totoro? Look around, Alphonse. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please. Do you know how often I looked after the waking sands and the rising stones all by myself? If I had a guild for every unwelcome caller I'd driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine. And 1 second. Bonk. Bonk. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then. Totoro, Narumi, Narumi and I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by link pearl if you require assistance. I will. I like how smart she is. She is smart for staying here. And she's shown, like, being able to protect herself. At least personally, I feel like she has. Alrighty, where is the house again? Okay, it's up this way. Yeah! Hi, Spark! Yep, we're doing MSQ. Just some low energy MSQ vibes. I think I gotta go up here. Did I already get this one? I did not. Yoink. And there's just a random citizen over here. I wonder. Oh! I think I found the dude! I think I found the Dark Knight guy. Ye gods, are you mad? We're standing outside the tribunal. Why is this doing weird stuff? There we go. Fine, fine, but keep quiet and listen well, because I'm only gonna say this once. Eh? Our end. Yeah, I think this is Dark Knight. We are getting Dark Knight. So as I was saying, that heretic was fighting like a man possessed. Even after he took several wounds, he showed no signs of pain, though there was no mistaking the blood. As the fight wore on, it began to soak through his armor, spreading to every ilm of his body. But when it began to rise and envelop him like as a mist, I realized it wasn't blood, but something dark and twisted. But the righteous are not so easily cowed. Halone be praised. I screamed myself hoarse when that temple knight slipped past his guard and ran him through. Good riddance, I say. Man was not meant to wield such arts. And I wonder, was he truly one of those... Well, it matters not. I heard the temple knights are talking of dumping his corpse in the Brom. By sunrise, it'll be stripped bare and tossed over the walls. It will be as though he never was, and as though we never had this conversation. Alrighty! Let's pop down to Foundation. Actually, be smarter just to use the Aetherite. Oh yeah, you went to the con! How was that? Hopefully you're safe. Alrighty. So the guy's like over here somewhere. Yep, there he is. Pious Knight. Ah! That's so cool! Eventually I want to do that. Oh, the knight armor. Hee 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 hee. Adorable. That's more than far enough for charity. They'll take care of the rest. And mayhap sooner than later. Come on. Oh, the Dark Knight drip. Did he press the funny, die button? Oh, here we go. Is this it? Is this what meets? No. No more. Enough. Open your eyes. Look. Do you see now? Do you see? Oh no. Oh, heck yeah. That'll be sick. I've been waiting for you to open your eyes. Are you alright? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets. Name's Frey, by the way. And no, I'm not a heretic. Try convincing a temple knight drunk on authority of that, Shame the pompous arse got the better of me. But how about you? You touched it, yes? That couldn't have felt good. A voice, eh? And a rather distressed one, besides. Someone! Help! Please, someone, anyone! Yo, that's sick! Not so fast. We need to talk about what's happening to you. What's growing within you. Before you get carried away. That's a darkness within us all. Nothing dangerous, mind. In fact, it's quite healthy. But the crystal changes you. Gives you the power to channel it. Training. However, well, it might hurt. I can't take that seriously. Oh, I'm sorry. The Dark Knight edgelordness. I love it. 10 out of 10. Love this game. That's... that both spooked me and just made me laugh. Go ahead. Ask me to teach you. Ask me to instruct you in the ways of Dark Knights. And I will. I like you. It's the right amount of edgelord, and I like it. I know you're still worried about the screaming woman, so I'll keep this brief. We Dark Knights don't care on wit for prestige or pedigree. We are free to follow our hearts, to defend the weak and punish the guilty as we see fit. The law of the land, the authority of a name, these are tools cowards use to escape harm. We have no need of shields, figurative or literal. Here, my blade is your blade, my soul crystal your crystal. Go on, take them. You'll need them soon enough. You just gave me your soul crystal? Or your job crystal? Just like that? Bum, bum, ba, bum. I love how it's called Are You Afraid of the Dark? Alrighty, let's see here. Dark Knight time. Where is it? I really need to go through my inventory. I am half blind. Where is it? Is it here? Fishing rod. Claymore. Oh, it auto-equips the Dark Knight. Blood gauge unlocked. God, it's so... Is it? I could've swore I had it as, points, too. Hang on. It might be covered up by the caddy, the, thing, too. Yeah, it should be Twitch redeem. Not just power up. Yeah. Yeah, because I got power ups and the Twitch redeems. If it covers up the ears, I will fix it. Ah, that makes sense. I also need to fix the names for the power-up ones. Well, well, well. Don't you look the part. Ready to harness the darkness within to set the wrong things right? No, bear in mind. While the darkness gives you strength, that strength comes at a cost. That is but one sacrifice, though. And justice demands many. Hehehehe. I want to see if it worked. Did it? It did work! The auto trigger worked. Let me move some of these frogs. Make them a little bit smaller. So you can actually see the cat ears. There we go. You can kind of see the cat ears. I want this one. Why? There we go. Hehe, thank you for the hydrate. Let me fix frogs. There we go. There we go. Froggies. You take my sippy. There we go. Also got me a little piece of ice. SameAme, vulnerable and untouchable man, harms a child in unspeakable ways. He strides through the Hopalon, secure in knowledge that he is beyond punishment. But for one who cuts down that vile beast, that as he flaunts his freedom, who knows how many others will suffer? Such was the dilemma faced by a goodly knight long ago. He knew that he would be stripped of his titles and denounced for the deed. The threshold he refused to cross is a line we draw for ourselves. We fear the consequence and people suffer for our indecision. Everyone who held the crystal came to conquer that fear and became who they wanted to be. That night was the first. Will you be the next? Think on that while we look into the commotion down below. Oh, right, we also got new armor, so I'm gonna actually... change me into some interesting... Alright, let's see here. Swap. We'll actually swap over to this armor. Very interesting that it swapped me to this one. Maybe because I'm lower level. That actually makes more sense. Oh wait, it's level 30. That's why. Oh right, I need to fix this, actually. HUD layout. Oh, wait. Oops. Because I would like to have my blood gauge right here. I am a Dark Knight. Alright, where's this lady? Okay, like right over here. Right? Hee. Yeah, so I actually started playing this game because Dark Knight is in it. Did I go the correct route? No. That's fine. I could just jump over here. Take out my cankles. Low-born crone. Oh, I've been a tank main for a while. I am a pally main normally. Yes. Everything alright? Is stream dying? I hope not. we all good? Stream fine? Your question. Oh! Do you have the 2B leggings? Nope, I do not have the 2B leggings yet. I haven't done the raid yet. I do really like the 2B outfit. Yeah, I'm not level 80 yet. I didn't see him standing there. And I know that's not an excuse. I should have been more careful. But my granddaughter, she started yelling at the temple knight. And I tried to stop her. I did. But when you said that she had to come with him, and if I could just tell him how sorry I am, maybe he would... He'd take you too, if that is what he'd do. Even if you went and begged the blue bastard to intervene, it would be too late by then. Ain't the time they've taken a girl her age. Ain't the first time they've taken a girl her age. If she doesn't fight back, they might let her go after. Are they implying... Are they implying what I think they're implying? Aw, cute! Yeah, feel free. That's cute! Yeah, I have to get all the way to Shadowbringers. Which means beating Heaven's Ward. We just got into Heaven's Ward, so... We got a little bit. No, there has to be another way. Ah, Ishgardian justice. They might spare the girl, you know. Leave her with a few scars and a lifelong lesson. Or we could beat every last one of them within a limb of their lives and rescue the girl. You'd like that, wouldn't you? I knew you would. Everything is going to be alright, ma'am. When I through with those knights, they will not dare trouble you ever again. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, time to beat the heck out of some knights. Assuming they didn't just drag her into an alley, they've taken her either to the congregation or the tribunal. The Honorable Sir Emmerich wouldn't suffer such a reprehensible favor under his roof. The Inquisition, on the other hand, well... So that leaves the tribunal. If the girl is still alive, I imagine they'd make all manner of threats. Come closer and she dies, and so forth. So, we'll need to make something perfectly clear to them. We're not here for her, we're here for you. Once they understand she means nothing to us, they'll attack us or flee. I don't know about you, but I'm eager to find out which. Ah, that sucks. Man. Hopefully you're, Hopefully everything went well, though. Outside of that. She left them at home. Is there an aetheryte here? Those are the pillars. There is an aetheryte here. Unless that's the main aetheryte. I'm gonna go back to the Dark Knight mission in a second. And see if I can, get attuned to the aetherytes. Oh no! Well, luckily you'll be able to rest on the bus ride home. That's cool you got to meet one of your Oshis, though. Yes! Yeah, no, I wish we could, change, like, the size of the weapon. Depending on your race. Okay, we already got that one, so we need the Forgotten Knight and the Last Vigil. That has a star on it. Oh, heck yeah. I don't know what that is. Yeah, don't click that. Based statement. That Lala is something I strive for. It is very atmospheric here, though. I love it. Alrighty. Let's go back down. Do the Dark Knight quest. Oh, my eye is not happy with me today. Sorry for the model going all chaotic. Allergies are not allergying. I just see in all caps down in the Sprout chat, become one with the fish. In all caps. Oof. Yeah, no, that's part of the reason why I'm not streaming on IRIAM right now. It's so annoying. The children have gotten worse. And it's probably only gonna get worse because of, summer break. You know what that means? Fish! You knew what you were doing there, Overcast. I would finish the bit, but I don't. I cannot in good conscience. I have it set to 3 minutes so you guys don't have pre-rolls. So you're not coming in on the ads. Yep, it'd be like that. Good luck in the void, boys! Okay, this is the shopping area. This is not where I want to be. Okay, so we went down there, so he's down here. Oh my gosh! My eye! This is the wrong way. Let me get Frog. There we go. Let me grab Frog. Let's see here. Frog. I'm gonna start putting them. Let's put it right here. There we go. Hee 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 hee. The collection grows. Amazing. You know, I was worried. Oh, that's sick. Spark, you're doing God's work. Is it down here? Where the heck is this? Okay, that's level 50. It's over here, so we're just gonna... Where's the aetherite? No, I'm looking for the Dark Knight. Because I want to finish the Dark... or at least get through some of the Dark Knight, story. It'd be smart to go over to this one. Yeah, we're in Dark Knight now. Which means I also need to fix my, my thing. So where is that? This one. There we go. Yeah, it's like right over here. He's like chilling out over by the entrance in this area. Yeah, I already have Dark Knight. Oh god, I'm gonna have to fix everything. Yep, there's Frey. He be chillin'. I'm actually gonna fix my actions and stuff. So... I'm just gonna move these down. So it looks like hard slash is R1. Siphon strike is R2. That's actually kind of useful. Unmanned. Is this an AoE? This is an AoE, isn't it? Yeah, range 20 yards. Is it? Unmend is ranged? Okay. There's my 3. Okay, that's also ranged, so we're gonna do that. And do that. Then Soul Eater delivers an attack. Oh, we already have Soul Eater. And then Grit. Oh, we already have Grit. Yep. Num 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 souls. Rampart. Toss Grit right there. This is like most of my clickables. Toss Sprint right there. We don't need these. Okay. Roll. Grab Low Blow. Okay, we got those. Yep. I think that's it. That's all we want right now. Honestly, not that bad of a rotation. Oh, I feel like I'm playing base stuff. Oh, okay. So I'd probably want it that on my 4 and this on my 5. Wait, no. Yeah, share it on Discord. Feel free. You know my DMs are open. Okay. If it's the con picks, if you're unsure, if you want to share with the class over in media, if you just want to DM it, go for it. If it's troublemakers, share it in the mod comms for folks to be able to see, and make sure to at the wish granters or wish givers. There we go. Oh, I have floppy stuff. I have notifications. Give me 2 seconds. Make sure this is not leaking stuff. Okay. We're doing this thing real fast. Pa 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 pa. Where the heck is my thing? do this real fast on my phone, actually. Hang on. I can still see you guys. Boop, 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 boop. Someone asked me to give them info that I need to give, so I'm doing that real quick. I hate PayPal sometimes. You can't see me if I can't see you. Amazing. Copy. There we go. Alright. We fixed that. Alrighty. Connecting to chat. Wow. I need to stretch for a second. I'm actually gonna get up and stretch. Hang on. So I can see you guys. Need to stretch a second. Oh, my back is not happy. Probably because I've been shrimping a little bit. There we go. Wait. I'm gonna take my ibuprofen real fast. Wait. Maybe a little bit of ibuprofen and then we can vibe more. Work on, shenanigans more. Oh, goodness. Wow. There we are. Gulps everything. Oh, my eyeball. I might take some Benadryl. Because I think it's my allergies. Let me grab my Benadryl. We're just gonna take it all at once. Don't do drugs, kids. Do I take one Benadryl or two? I'm just gonna take one for now. Benadryl doesn't make me sleepy or anything, so... because I'm wired weird. Oh yeah, I need to show the whole model off. It's really cute. Do all the drugs till you see sounds. See sounds, taste colors, hear colors. There we go. I like how expressive this model is, too. It's very cute. I love it. As soon as this model came out, I was like, I need. Instant. Need. But yeah, let me show off the model, actually. That's the full thing. Oh, right! I should show the toggles. Actually, hang on, we're gonna do a B-plot here. Hehehe. We're gonna do a B-plot real quick. Because I didn't get to show the model off. I just went straight into playing game. Of course, we're keeping the frogs. Don't worry. We keeping frog. Yeah! There we go. So this is baseline Momo for this. Okay, so there is a skirt. I just didn't like how it looked because it was black. It was a black skirt. So I went with the shorts. I think the shorts are a little bit cuter anyways. In my opinion. So that is the base fit. Spark already used the cat emote, so, or the cat mode, which cat mode doesn't have a tail, mostly because I don't necessarily like how the rigging of the tails are. They stay very behind you and my pigtails kind of cover them. I have to play with the tail toggles. The next one is the pupper one, which is covered up by frog. We just have pup ears. We have the goth Momo, which I need to remember what my toggle is for that. Ah, right. Because of course we need goth outfit. So we have that one. And it's just
Change
the
of
socks.
plans. Ignore your original objective. Leave nothing alive.
Scared the bejesus out of me. And the cat mode, and yes, you guys can stack them. Control Shift G. Oh wait, G. Oh yeah, G is Magia mode. So we do actually have the magical girl fit, which is a temp one. I have one for the Fae one, which I think is F. Yeah. Fae one. I might put on the goth one actually, because it's just kind of a chill vibe. Oh, I didn't realize that the that the ears go in front of the horns. That's so good. I also love how the ears kinda, you know, they flop over depending on how you're looking. It's a very expressive model. I love it. Oh, I need to change my credits and stuff, because this might be my main model now. I still need to stress test it to see how it works in Soulframe. But it's really cute. Very happy. But yeah. Cute model. I love it. And this is like the style that I really like. Yeah, the ears are like jello. They're so floppy. Not wilds. Probably not wilds. Wilds can't handle the SameAme model, which is a very low stress model. So Wilds will probably stay as PNG tuber mode. Simply because Wilds eats the RAM. It's so bad. The RAM, it is a crisis. It is a crisis. I think Wilds, because it actually has that state, let me swap back over to gaming. The Wilds eats your RAM, so it noms everything. It is rough. It is so rough. Like, I think the last time I ran Wilds, between OBS, vtuber Mini, and Wilds, I think I was using almost, like, I think it was like 90% of the RAM of the computer. It's so rough. I'm like, oh no. We'll see. I'll probably stress test it and see. Even virtual RAM? Yeah. It's so bad. But Wilds has... So... It has a optimization issue. Wilds has an optimization issue. So... It leaks. If I remember right, it has a memory leak. And it actively... I don't want to crash the computer. So, yeah. Very careful. Because I honestly, I prefer you guys to have a good experience with watching the gameplay and everything, and actually being able to hear me over model, because I can deal with that. Yeah, there's a memory leak for Wilds. Yeah, that's why I go into PNG mode. Which I don't mind going into PNG mode. I'm actually working on 2.0 for PNG. This model is very close to what I want to do for a PNG model. Or, for 2.0, so... It's very tempting to actually, get this model artist to commission. Because I really like this, art style. I like Gooper! It's too cute! But yeah, I love the vibes. Alright. Hello, Frey. How's it going, brother? Just the one sword between the two of us, I'm afraid. You keep it. I dare say it fits rather snugly in your hands. But don't worry about me. I'll do my part in keeping you on your feet. Now, should things turn violent, as I expect they shall, you may need to tap into your dark side to survive. It's not unlike drawing upon your own aether to weave magic. Fear, pain, rage. That which lies in the deepest depths of our soul makes for a potent fuel. But be warned, burn too much too quickly, and you risk being consumed. Worry not, Narumi. The first step over the threshold is always the hardest. Ah, yes. I should have known you'd do that. Right then. Let's find the girl. He's just Batman. Frey's just Batman. Okay, it's just right up the road. What is this? Oh, it's preferred world bonus. So this is our 1, 2, 3. We need a target for that. And then I want to see what it looks like. That's Unleash. And we need a target for Unmend. Okay. That is great, though. Alrighty. Oh, heck yeah! Temple Knight. Alrighty, let's go ham! Must be level 34. Eh, we should be fine. Damn it, girl. You're only making this worse for yourself. The hell's with you? I've done nothing wrong. Why must the pretty ones always be so daft? If I had a gil for every time I had to kill an unrepentant bastard like you. Bruh. Oh. What the? Are you threatening a temple knight? Oh, you're very clever. Yes, I am. Now let her go. Enough of this. With me, girl. Now. One more word of protest and I'll toss your grandmother in the cell to rot. You three, seize this imbecile. Yep, time to kill the Templar. Is he pulling Black Mage shenanigans? So I'm not used to not having a tank stance. Let's try this. There we go. Yeah, run away. I certainly am a threatening temple knight. Momo, give me more blood for my lilies. Blood for the blood lilies. I'm pretty sure also, do you see, Narumi, the flames beckon? Immerse yourself in the flames and ignite the darkness within. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Two. 3. Yippee! We're safe. We're all good now. Yeah, I'm like shocked that it wasn't in the main one, but I could have not already unlocked it, so because I am only like level 30 or something like that. Did we go to all of them? Darkness. Another darkness. Darkness threatens to swallow your whole being. Alright, where are we going now? Where the heck are we going? I'm going to guess up here, so... yeah. One. Well, technically two. Oh, quit your healing. Two. Three. Good. And I'm good. And here we go. I've not used this once. Oh, right! Grit is... okay, that's my tank stance. I'm an idiot. Is there a... are you a healer? You are a healer. I was wondering why that guy wasn't dying. Yeah, that's why I was like, wait a minute. Especially if Frey over there, having a rough time. Definitely a rotation I need to get used to. Those of you who you let live, it's fine. Okay, so we need to move this over here, because that's where we normally have our tank stance on. I like how the Dark Knight is very gray, gray paladin. Grey Guard, coded. Or possibly Hell Knight. Coded. I don't know what to say, miss. Thank you, thank you. I got a little carried away earlier. It's just, when I saw how they were treating my grandmother, I had to say something and... What? No one screamed your name. My grandmother called out, just once, but that was it. Speaking of which, I should hurry back. I suppose I ought to say that I know that I'm sorry for what I did, but I'm not. Those knights had it coming. Halone bless you for what you did. Goodbye, lady. Feels good, doesn't it? Strange, maybe, but a good strange, I'll wager. You tapped into something primal, a power nestled within you, yearning to be free. And as your understanding of this power grows, so too will your skill as a Dark Knight. You have done well, far better than what I could have hoped. In fact, there is still so much more, so much further to go. I won't lie to you, Narumi. The risks will only increase, so if you want to keep going, you have to trust in me. Can you do that? Yeah, sure. You seem like a trustworthy guy. Good. That's a promise. Circumstances being that they are, it might be best we parted ways for a while. Think of it as an opportunity to hone your skills in my absence. But don't worry, we will meet again. And when the time is right, I will be waiting where we first met. Heck yeah! The next Dark Knight quest will be available from Frey upon reaching level 35. The requirements of undertaking subsequent quests can be reviewed in your journal. Cool beans! We have Dark Knight! You learn to control the darkness from within. Oh, another thing to move. Hang on. Me actively moving my HUD around. Dark side gauge. God, I love Dark Knight. I don't need this. I need this. There we go. This is the most edgy thing I've ever seen. I love it. I love it so much. I find profound joy. This timer indicates the duration of Dark Side, which increases damage dealt. Using Flood of Darkness or Edge of Darkness grants Dark Side. Okay. So it's a lot like, it's like your blood gauge. Oh, so we have an active button that shows when our thing is active. Cool to know. Well, we have Dark Knight now. we're definitely not the level to be able to continue the Dark Knight mission, so, or the storyline, so. We'll have to continue the MSQ as Paladin for now. Yeah, because I'm Anara, so I have little dragon horns. But I also have the little, I think it's a summoner circlet. Oh yeah, Midgard Stormer. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he was slapping me on the side of the face. He's a little sassy guy. Oh wait, I need to go to the golden saucer real quick, actually. No, I need to... I need to teleport over. I need to do my daily gambling. I forgot to do my daily gambling. Let's see here. Pew, 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 pew. What's your gamble strat? Try to get it as close to 7 as possible. Dang. What would that be? That'd be 11, right? Yeah. Do we risk it? Yeah, let's risk it. That's not too bad. Oh, we got another frog! Yeah, let me get my stuff up. Frog. Frog. There we go. That's 11! Or no, we have more than that. Let's see here. We have... I wish there to be more frog than vtuber. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we have 12 frogs so far. Still the best redeem I have ever made. Okay, that's 8. That's not too bad. Or no, that's 9. That's still not too bad. Buried under the pile of frogs. We'll go here. Oof. Oh well. We still made money. So we could get an 8. We could get something else. Might as well. It's still not too bad. Didn't lose the thing either. Oh wait, no. Yeah, we didn't lose the thing either, so it's fine. Now to go to the big crackpot bolt bar blah, thingy. I think I can still Yeah, I can still go and grab my stuff from the Cacbot board. Ethernet. Back up here. Oh, the lobby's streaming. I might, after this, Oh! I never did it last week. I forgot to. That's fine. And now for the random rolls. Alrighty. But yeah, so we might, we might raid, lobby for our raid today. They're playing, Stardew. Probably with Rod and Co. I'll have to check. They'll be at 7:30 probably. Yeah, we'll do that at 7. Because my eyes are still bothering me, so that means I have been looking at the screen for too long. Not only that, I need to figure out what to make for dinner, so it'll be fine. We've been streaming since 5-ish, so. I don't think I've gotten everything here, actually, thinking on it. Have I gotten everything here? I am gonna swap back to this. There we go. Oh, right, because we have the sword. But yeah, so, tomorrow is probably gonna be co-working. It's a hit or miss, or if it's gonna be on IRIAM, or if it's gonna be on Twitch. We'll see. Outside of that, Tuesday's also gonna be co-working, more than likely. Either co-working, or we're gonna do some more FF14. We'll see. Wednesday's off day, as usual. I do need to make my schedule sometime tonight, so I'll probably write everything down. Outside of that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get set up for the raid. But yeah, Lavi's playing, Stardew with, Adria and Ron. So that'll be a fun time. Let's see here. Doop. We'll go ahead and queue that up. But yeah. Thank you everybody for coming. We got pretty good, decently far into, well, at least a little bit into the intro of, Heaven's Ward. Right. And then turn off goth mode. There we go. But yeah, we got pretty decently into Heaven's Ward, so that's a good sign. But yeah, tomorrow's co-working. We'll see which end we go to. Yeah. Don't forget, we do have the poll for the next TTRPG we're going to be going over, both on Twitter and over on in the Hangout. Yeah, I think that's about it for me today. So we're going to go ahead and raid Lavi. And I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe. I don't have to come and protect you. And goodbye. Have a good night, everybody. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And a base level scythe. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
the fact you can't upgrade at him, you have to like do mastery and shit. The
True.
hoe,
Yeah,
though, maybe you should do it before me, you know?
Hello?
yeah.
We're being raided?
I also have a basic level hoe. Oh shit!
Hi, Momo. Hi, my Momo. Hello. Hi, Raiders.
Hello, Momo, darling.
We're playing Stardew today. For those of you who are new, I'm Lavi. I'm a vampire hikikomori neko from Bon Live EN, IRIAM, Twitch, YouTube. I run 3 chats at once. So if you hear me talking to someone that you don't see, I'm not hallucinating. I run 3 chats at once. Hello.
Well, the hallucination and who you're speaking to are completely unrelated.
Yes.
Could I plant more cranberries? I only got 50, but I could like definitely plant like a lot more.
You know, if you want to, and just sell them as they pop up, and then